Ladies and gentlemen, history buffs and mystery aficionados, gather around as we delve into one of antiquity's most captivating enigmas, the death of Cleopatra VII. Was it the venomous bite of an asp, a clandestine sip of poison, or perhaps a politically motivated assassination? Let's embark on a journey through time to explore the theories surrounding the demise of Egypt's last pharaoh. The Snakebite Saga. The story of Cleopatra's death by snakebite is undoubtedly the most dramatic and widely recognized, capturing the imagination of historians and storytellers alike for centuries. Ancient historians such as Plutarch and Cassius Dio immortalize this narrative, describing how the queen's final moments were spent in her regal chambers, with an Egyptian cobra, or asp, brought to her in a basket of figs. Cleopatra's choice of a snake was supposedly deeply symbolic. In ancient Egyptian culture, the asp was associated with divine royalty, sovereignty, and the eternal cycle of life and death. Choosing such a method might have been Cleopatra's way of asserting her identity as a living deity, even in her death. However, the practicality of this tale raises more than a few eyebrows among modern historians. First, handling a venomous snake like the Egyptian cobra is no easy task. These creatures are not exactly cooperative, and ensuring that the snake would bite her precisely at the right moment seems more like an act of divine intervention than human planning. Some suggest that Cleopatra might have been aided by a servant familiar with handling such creatures, but no historical records confirm this possibility. Second, the mechanics of a cobra bite itself cast doubt on this story. While the neurotoxin from its venom can lead to respiratory failure, the process is not instantaneous. Victims could linger for hours, experiencing progressive paralysis, a gruesome and slow death that seems at odds with Cleopatra's desire to avoid public humiliation and maintain her dignity, the poison plot. While the snakebite story remains the most famous, the poison theory provides a far more plausible and pragmatic explanation for Cleopatra's demise. Renowned for her intellect and strategic mind, Cleopatra was a woman who studied not only politics and philosophy, but also the natural sciences, including the properties of various toxins. Historical accounts suggest she may have conducted experiments on prisoners to test the efficacy and speed of different poisons, a grim but revealing testament to her calculated nature. Poisoning offered Cleopatra a level of control over her death that a snakebite simply could not. Ancient sources, including the Roman historian Strabo, suggest that she might have used a poisoned ointment or a sharp implement, perhaps a hairpin dipped in a lethal concoction. This method would have allowed Cleopatra to administer the poison discreetly, avoiding the chaotic unpredictability of relying on an animal. The presence of small puncture marks on her arm, reported in some ancient accounts, lends credence to this hypothesis. These marks align with the idea that Cleopatra pricked herself to deliver the fatal dose, ensuring a quick and relatively private death. Modern toxicologists speculate that Cleopatra might have used a mix of hemlock, wolfsbane, and opium, all of which were well documented in the ancient world and readily available during her reign. This combination could produce a peaceful yet effective death, as opium would dull her pain and the other substances would shut down her respiratory system. Cleopatra's familiarity with toxins and her deliberate planning align with her reputation as a meticulous and cunning ruler, determined to dictate her own fate, even in her final moments. The poison theory not only highlights Cleopatra's resourcefulness, but also aligns with her lifelong narrative of defying expectations and maintaining control. Murder most foul. Could Cleopatra's death have been a cleverly disguised assassination, orchestrated by her most formidable rival Octavian? Many historians argue that this scenario holds more weight than it may initially seem. Octavian, the future Augustus Caesar, had every reason to eliminate Cleopatra from the political landscape. She was not only a queen who symbolized resistance to Roman domination, but also the mother of Caesarion, Julius Caesar's only acknowledged son. As Caesar's heir, Caesarion represented a direct threat to Octavian's claim to power. In ancient Rome, where politics was a ruthless game of strategy, the removal of rivals, especially those tied to prominent legacies, was often done with calculated precision. According to this theory, Octavian may have staged Cleopatra's death to appear as a suicide, ensuring her story became a tragic, romanticized tale rather than a political scandal. Such a move would serve multiple purposes. It would eliminate a powerful adversary while painting Octavian as a benevolent victor who respected the dignity of his defeated enemy. Roman propaganda, which Octavian wielded masterfully, played a crucial role in shaping public perception. He was already adept at spinning narratives to strengthen his image as the rightful leader of Rome, and Cleopatra's death might have been just another strategic move in his rise to power. The carbon monoxide curveball. Among the lesser-known theories about Cleopatra's death lies the idea of carbon monoxide poisoning, a hypothesis that paints a starkly different picture of her final moments. This theory suggests that Cleopatra may have orchestrated a peaceful demise by sealing herself in an airtight chamber filled with burning coals. The smoldering embers would have produced carbon monoxide, a colorless and odorless gas that causes unconsciousness and eventual death without physical pain. In a time when public image was everything, such a method could have ensured a dignified exit, avoiding the grotesque spectacle associated with other forms of suicide. On the surface, this theory seems plausible. Cleopatra was a woman of immense intelligence and resourcefulness, and she likely understood the importance of controlling how history would remember her. Carbon monoxide poisoning would have allowed her to preserve her appearance, ensuring no external signs of trauma were visible to those who found her. This method would also align with her penchant for calculated decisions, reflecting her determination to maintain agency over her fate, even in the face of Roman conquest. The carbon monoxide hypothesis underscores. The carbon monoxide hypothesis underscores Cleopatra's ingenuity and the lengths she may have gone to maintain control over her narrative. While it lacks the dramatic flair of the snakebite story or the political intrigue of the Octavian conspiracy, this theory adds another layer to the mystery of Cleopatra's death, reminding us of her enduring complexity. The aftermath. Cleopatra's death in 30 BC was not merely the end of her life, it marked the end of an epoch. With her passing, Egypt was absorbed into the Roman Empire, concluding millennia of pharaonic rule. This transition was not just a political shift, but a cultural turning point that would forever alter the trajectory of one of the ancient world's most storied civilizations. Under Roman rule, Egypt transitioned from a powerful independent kingdom to the breadbasket of Rome, its vast agricultural resources exploited to sustain the empire's ever-growing population. Octavian, who would later be known as Augustus Caesar, wasted no time consolidating his power after Cleopatra's death. Recognizing Caesarion, Cleopatra's son with Julius Caesar, as a direct threat to his claim to Rome's leadership, Octavian ordered his execution. Caesarion, who had been declared co-ruler alongside his mother and presented as the son of the sun in Egypt, represented a lingering symbol of the Ptolemaic Dynasty and its defiance against Roman supremacy. His death was not only a strategic move, but also a symbolic one, ensuring there would be no rival heirs to Julius Caesar's legacy. While Caesarion's fate was grim, Cleopatra's 3 children, with Mark Antony, Alexander Helios, Cleopatra Selene, and Ptolemy Philadelphus, were spared. They were taken to Rome, where they were raised under the care of Octavia, Mark Antony's Roman wife and Octavian's sister. This act of mercy was not purely altruistic. By incorporating Cleopatra's surviving children into Roman society, Octavian further solidified his image as a just and magnanimous ruler, capable of mercy even toward the progeny of his rivals. Of the 3, Cleopatra Selene's life is the most documented. She married Juba II, the king of Mauritania, and ruled alongside him, carrying her mother's legacy into a new era. And there you have it, the fascinating truth behind Cleopatra's mysterious death. Let us know your theory in the comments below. If you enjoyed this ancient mystery video, don't forget to like, subscribe, more thrilling historical journeys.